Let's roll.
Здорово.
Здорово.
Охренеть, еще и придет. Нет, это нормально вроде. Шестнадцать минут. Нехило. Я на Б1. Идите на апс.
Let's go. Decoys out.
Синий, что ты? Если этого я не успею сесть туда, куда мне надо, то виноват. Молодец, ты виноват. Это Б.
резко.
Шорт. Один лоу хп нужен. Паст лоу хп.
Аккуратно,
где-то минус.
Подожди.
Move it, son. Incendiary. Throwing flashbang. Deploying flashbang.
Палас чисто.
На миду есть. А ну прикрывает с окна, возьми его с окна.
Тихо.
А, есть 3 на миду, еще один остался, 2 вынес. Яма еще один. Близко, лучший красавчик.
Андеграунд.
Здорово. Сори. Извини, Раджа.
Ну, ребят, классно. Что-то на бэхе.
Сейчас я вернусь.
Flashbang.
На миду никого. Или Б, или А.
Палас есть.
Deploying flashbang. Throwing a grenade.
Еще,
Еще
да?
один в палаце.
Throwing
Палац
fire.
еще один.
Я лоу хп. Там калаш можете забрать. Ой, один палас, один яма. Ластовый палас, он как
Вижу,
колонн.
вижу.
Второй колонны.
Вижу. Хорошо, вышел, палац вышел.
Это все мой авик чудотворящий.
Let's go, fellas. Throwing smoke. Throwing flashbang.
Мид, да?
Да. Там турки довольно много.
Ой-ой.
Окей, я иду на шорт, смотри, опасно, если что, скажи.
На стуле, чер. Сука, коннектор. Как всегда тайминг. Сейви.
Авик на шорт. Нет, так нет.
Нет. Или... А, да, знаю.
These boys have got a
Это
little
левый,
house, they don't
левый.
mind using
Ну, он
it.
рандомный.
Да, присоединиться.
Deploying flashbang.
Дайте-ка, пожалуйста, паус.
Да блин, да что такое?
Help! Ты зачем в окне сидишь, а, говна ты кусок?
Я на Б.
Обойди их без стивера. Прыгай туда, обходи их, там они в этом были, можно было бы загнать.
Класс, 5 попаданий. Он просто выжил после 5 попаданий. 8 хп. Да, то есть я должен 6 раз попасть по нему. — 92 хп, 5 попаданий. Охуенная игра.
Сиз гейминг.
Пиздец.
Там шишел мышел, мидл вышел.
Слева синий. С ножа.
Похуй.
Денег больше дали. Клаш сейв. Ой, тебе повезло, что помогли. Клаш сейв.
Еще раз скажи.
Клаш.
Шорт.
Он вот него.
Flashbang.
Блин, хочу себе такой калаш. Сколько он стоит, интересно?
Какой?
Снежный вихрь.
У желтого спрашиваю, он по скинам разбирается.
Ну, смотря какой это завод.
Deploying flashbang. Throwing
Желтый вихрь.
flashbang.
Чего?
Желтый вихрь сколько стоит?
Какого качества тебя спрашиваю?
Хрен его знает какая.
И прямо завода 1800 около. Потом около 1000, ну там шарпаная немного.
Бомба у меня, хелпанись, пожалуйста.
Потом за 600 можно найти.
Блядь. Какой еблан? Двое пит, один лоу хп. Настя, двое на уже зашли, один коцаны.
Пробежал ее.
Diffusing.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Янки,
Это или немного поношено, или прямо завод.
Let's move out.
Не, прямо завода.
Что, Янки, что?
Так, я на мид.
Ладно, сейчас.
Incendiary out. Incendiary. Flashbang. Grenade out. Grenade.
Мид. Минус сколько? Блядь.
Меня и убивает.
Один шорт, один мид. Шорт, аккуратно.
Один в окне, один на шоу.
Да,
Только
вот
что
это.
раньше не хал.
Тут заходи справа.
Найс фликс.
Не, у меня нема. У Янки попроси. А, не
Let's
Янки.
make this right as rain. Deploying decoy. Smoke. Deploying flashbang. Throwing fire.
Мид 2 мид. 2 мид.
Deploying flashbang. Flashbang.
А ну прикрой шоу-то.
Шмара ебаная. Шмара вонючая, блядь. Двое лоу хп. Двое на миду, двое на хп.
Terrorists win.
Remove any doubts in your head. It's us or them.
Простой, как всегда, не
Deploying
вовремя заходит.
flashbang.
Я помогу.
Палас.
Там еще один. Выходит.
Палас есть.
Погнали за рашем, ладно.
Я лоу. Он слева. Спасибо. Один хп.
Ластов это спаун или палас?
Counter-terrorists win.
Я дропну. Я
Вот
дропну.
можете чекнуть.
Кому скинуть? Где-то. Сау.
Не надо, лучше палец смотреть.
Remember,
Да.
this isn't the killing house anymore. This is real life. Throwing smoke. Incendiary out.
Там миду топали.
Smoke.
На, никого. В палате никого. Палац пустой. Обхожу их
Throwing
никуда.
fire. Grenade out. Throwing flashbang.
Ай, идут, помогите, они с апартаментов выходят. Зеленый готовься.
Окей, я бегу.
Зеленый готовься.
Бомба у нас
откидывай.
не надо. Смотри. Зеленый бомб.
Еще один. Ай, хорош.
Counter-terrorists
Найс.
win.
Все, дайте я мид, можно, окей? Ладно, я буду палац смотреть.
Окей, я мид. Только пропустите, на мид не идите, мне
Chop.
Да, окей. Давай, желтый.
Laying down smoke. Throwing smoke.
палас.
Бит есть еще. Еще паласы.
Палас есть еще.
Пизда. Бит.
Flashbang.
Бит, Арик.
Палац 2.
Grenade out.
Ой, я чуть не своего не посмотрел.
Пауса. На подъеме, лучше ждите его.
Не лезь, он наступит сверху.
Возможно, Пауса пойдет быстро.
Хай пойдет. Палец.
Калаш. Нихуя себе, нормально все? Охуеть. Зеленый, знаете, UMP кинул.
Дайте по 250, пожалуйста.
Окей.
Спасибо.
Найс. Ой. Охренеть, там же авик. Почему он авик нет? Я рассчитываю. НП на меня. Что есть?
Мид есть, да? Я выхожу.
Нет, двое.
Ну это бред. Ну как?
Минус 22 слева.
Убежал,
Он убежал. Все.
Ты что делаешь?
Ну,
Давай
убежал.
быстрее,
Справа.
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 Что ты делаешь?
Вот
Я
я
вышел.
Калаш. Возьми калаш.
Чрезвычайная ситуация происходит.
Чрезвычайный пи.
Let's go.
Дроп. Нет, ладно, пока.
Мне бы руку левую поставить. Как на левую руку ставить?
В командной строке вести надо.
Ну вот, я не помню просто что. На левой руке поярче играть.
Мид.
Кто знает, как прописать?
Надо.
Это, наверное.
Как?
Нет, у меня. Все, я не могу больше.
Найс.
Красавчик.
Orange good. Добей, сейчас я тебе скину.
Буду благодарен.
Go.
На миду никого. Это А, да?
Это Б.
Что-то на Б не видно никого тоже. Ну,
Ну, А,
это
пусто вообще никого.
Они могут
Или
быть.
Андер, или Б.
Окей, я захожу следом. Бомба у меня.
Deploying flashbang.
Так как? Ну его не ослепило. Ну, Джан. Ваш Джан. Просто Джан. Просто...
Да он отходит, он апартаменты заходит через туннель. Бомба в апартаментах. Вот он перепрыгивает, а он в натуре знает, мыша тупая.
Throwing fire.
Страш.
Terrorists win.
Давайте на него репорт кинем.
Уж.
Let's go. Victory awaits.
А ну! Богу.
Nico is out.
Двое. Двое, сэр, говорю же. Один сэр.
Terrorists win.
Эко.
Что тебя рашит? Go be guys. На виду уже есть. Давайте, кройте, я планчу. Подсади кто-нибудь.
Быстрее.
Спасибо.
Петушня в кичене. Бегите быстрее. Обходите их.
Что?
А бомба далеко.
Нет, это читер.
Counter terrorists win.
We must move. I'm throwing smoke. Flashback.
Не турки все, они не понимают русский.
Flashback. Grenade. Smoke.
Я убил его, не...
Terrorists win.
Курва.
Экса вообще-то пицца, ну ладно.
Come on, let's
Он тебя шлюха обзывает.
smoke. I'm throwing a flashback.
Ты знаешь, да, вот этот их не тупой язык?
Почему тупой?
Потому что они ублюдки.
Кто именно? Ну, если тебе мрази попались 5 человек, это не значит, что все мрази.
Я же сказал, дэшек на джангл.
Terrorists win.
Сейф мой талант. Справа.
Доктор. 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 Доктор.
So that we may be free. Throwing a flashback. Flashback.
Бля, он клёвый, откуда он у тебя? Это второй какой-то, да?
Throwing a flashback. Grenade.
Двое сайт А.
Ну как? Как? С одного выстрела. Это же невозможно. У меня же, блядь, шлем.
I am planting the bomb.
Я кухню смотрю. Кухня зашел.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Go, go, go! Smoke! Decoy! I'm throwing a flashback.
Что это за дичь?
I'm throwing a flashback.
Шорт.
Джангл.
Blessing.
Bomb has been planted.
Смотри, чтоб он Сити не побежал.
Вот как... Я? Я бы его вынес, если бы он нормально бы набегал с одной выстрел со шлемом на голове.
Bomb has been defused.
На-
Counter-terrorists win.
Я тут ни при чем. Я ж не виноват в том, что они подрубили.
Be safe. Let's go, my friends. Throwing a flashback. Flashback. Throwing a flashback.
Двое...
Пацаны.
Bomb has been planted.
На время играем.
Ну не было меня видно даже. Ну, он сразу на меня цель. Отлично.
Входят с палаца. Апартаменте. Тикай, тикай, тикай.
Not stop the bomb now.
Terrorists win.
Пошлите так же само. У нас на Б получается рашить, на ничего не получается. Идемте Б. Спасибо, доктор.
Машина есть.
Ребят, ну вы издеваетесь, серьезно? Куда вы все разбегаетесь, блядь?
Один на сайде. Один. Один сзади.
Counter-terrorists win.
Сори.
Может мы пойдем все на Б, не разбегаться будем, блядь?
Может, давайте на мид все пойти?
Нахрен тут мид, сейчас тебя там разберутся ВП всех и все.
Окей, гонно.
Пускай он фейканет, там мы пойдем.
Фриско, ну ты куда побежал? Отвлекать? Да ну не пихайся, дай пройти.
Один шорт.
I am planting the bomb.
Counter-terrorists win.
Со всех сторон.
Эко можешь сделать, ну. Пытаешь. Если последний.
Let's go, my brothers. I'm throwing smoke. Grenade.
Окно есть. Быстрее обходи, зеленый, беги, беги, беги. Бери его.
Где? Ну синий, ну ты же прикрывал.
Там еще есть, возможно. Б чисто.
Что?
Да. Один в джангле, возможно.
Возможно,
Но они могли перебежать уже на Б.
Bomb has been planted.
Выглядим. Разменял.
Terrorists win.
Разменял бутылку, пожалуйста. А, не успеешь. Да, я забыл, что бомбу он же не разминировал.
Мне дроп. Спасибо.
Кого? Дайте вапер.
Let's go, my brothers.
Калаша хочешь, на?
I'm throwing a flashbang. I'm throwing a flashbang. Flashbang.
На А двое. Или трое даже.
Окей.
Throwing fire.
Подъем есть. Аук. Найс.
Зеленый.
А чисто.
Я на
убирал,
плейте,
да?
давайте подтягивайтесь сюда.
Говорит, а чисто, он позаметал.
Зеленый. Зеленый, ты гиб...
Throwing a flashbang.
Нужно инфу давать, когда знаешь. Турков.
Terrorists win.
To victory. Throwing a flashbang. I'm throwing a grenade. Throwing.
Как крыса.
Включено.
Лестница, смотри на лестнице, там два было. Слева от тебя.
Smoke.
Близко.
Блять. Джангл.
Близко, там сняли. Найс.
Terrorists win.
Я на мид пошел.
Let's go, let's go.
Бля, я у тебя на голове шел, прикинь.
I'm throwing a flashbang. Throwing a flashbang.
Тихо.
Throwing smoke. Flashbang. Grenade.
Давайте на Б идите. Что вы там забыли, ребят? Потому что зеленый меня не придержит.
40 хп около пита с UMP. Уже коллаж взял. Кичен пойдут.
Вот как просто как.
Terrorists win.
Дайте дай калаш, Аран. Здесь. Пас.
Че, может на А пойдем? Или
Гой,
фейканем?
гой.
Фейканем? Нет?
Smoke. I'm throwing a flashbang.
Авик вонючий, джангл.
Садись,
По времени
садись,
играем,
да,
сидите
желтый.
тут. Не лезьте никуда.
Минус 54.
Сите.
Готовься, Жан. Грин был. Грин был. Еще сити.
Еще.
сити.
Найс.
Хорошо.
Hey, my friends.
Ты что, не будешь?
We are going to do this.
Well, that's fire.
That's fire.
It's not wrong, is it, Moses?
No, it's not wrong at all. I thought he was actually going to win that fight for a second. Great response from Xanter's, aggressive towards long A, and he's actually beating everyone. He's taking a lot of ground. He's taking huge liberties with his play, and that's too much. Pulls out the smoke to peek towards the double doors. Legia gets great damage and forces him back, and there was an option there to go for this. It's going to be tough. Paz has to win this battle. He's been great, but the spray doesn't connect.
Yeah, but Calyx, he's managed to sneak down and nobody's noticed. He's down and dropping. They just stay alive here. Legia will get one kill. Paz takes him down, and there's Calyx dropping next. The timing is so good. And Gobby, he's got to be very worried right now. Gets the instant shot on Calyx. He can still do this out in the open. A great headshot coming in. Gobby with a double kill. And now he's looking for Paz, who's ruined their dreams. Time and again, looking for more, but this time Tamsin is going to come in with a great double kill to save the round, finally, for Space Soldiers. And he's actually running to pick up the AWP. This is... I mean, he has the time for it, but still.
Anything you can get, isn't it? Finally, they're able to conquer Paz in a clutch situation. He's been so good. This time, simply didn't have the information and commits to a peek before he got it, so goes down. But he's 18-3.
Come on, how is that possible? I mean, this is outrageous. Like I said, Xantaris is the one that obviously had the reputation going into the tournament.
Yeah.
And
that, I mean, this is what's needed, though. This was always the big question mark, as Space Soldiers has been a team that's been hyped up to be this next team that'll break into the professional circuit and be a competitive squad. The question always was, you guys got Xantares. Who's going to be the next guy to step up on the international stage? Obviously, I mean, this isn't the competition of, like, you know, going deep into the major. You're not playing your G2s, your Fanatics, your Phases, whatever it might be. But this is, you know, a team that did very well at the last major. We've seen other players be incredible. Major's going to have another entry. He's going to get a second. Paz is going to eliminate Tapson, and just like that, Opa Big is gone. They're going to get reset.
oh man, that's so rough. We've seen this so many times now where a CT side will sort of win a single round, and then there comes a knockout right afterwards.
That's why I just love calling it the uppercut, because it's exactly what it feels like, isn't it? Where you just see it get hit in the face, and there's nothing they can really do about it. They just drop. Kiev has to fight his way out to save this AWP, but the hunt is on, and the money's not even great for Space Soldiers. They just don't care. They just want this AWP away. They know they'll still have all the advantages. Jumping to get the information. Major's not going to peek. Kiev goes for the flick, and it doesn't even matter. He was getting wrapped on from behind.
Quad kill for Major in the round, and these opening kills. I mean, this one, I guess, is a little bit unfortunate timing next, trying to go aggressive, but he just keeps rolling in. And as soon as he takes this long flank around, Legia just, I mean, he can't fight that many angles all at once.
I feel like Gobby, because of the smoke, didn't even see him. I think he just like wraps around, saw his leg, and takes the shot, and obviously it lands, and then poor Gobby just didn't even know what was about to hit him.
What an inspirational story this is for Turkish Counter-Strike that has been sort of largely unknown. I feel like there's always been a solid player base there. There are some of these countries that we don't hear of too much that still have quite a lot of active players. The other one that I'm always wondering about is India. I know that sounds like a stretch maybe now, but there are a lot of people in India playing Counter-Strike, if you don't know.
I did not know that.
Well, now
actually,
you do,
yeah, now I know. I'm actually really, I'm like in Kazakhstan. I'm wondering how many teams are somehow hidden in that region, that country that is just going to be incredible.
I mean, per capita, they must be doing extraordinarily well at the moment. They gave it a great headshot, but again, maybe just a little bit too little, too late. 3 versus 4 right now. Gobby and Tamsin are next left here in the 12th round. Anything you can steal from the other team, any AK you can run away with, that would be great right now.
Hopes and dreams, Anders. Hopes and dreams. They're nowhere near getting an exit kill. Nex and Gobby aren't even going for it. I mean, it might be, I think it might have to actually even be a double save. No, they're going to buy into the next round. This is disheartening to say the least for Big. It's going to be 11-1.
They've had, I mean, part of this is, as we've been talking about, is down to the maps, isn't it? Because they obviously came into the tournament thinking, well, Inferno is going to be our home map once again, and that really got shot down. Like, that idea died quickly. And now that, you know, Cobblestone seems to be the next go-to. That's a problem, right? That if you know, you sort of only have 2 maps that you maybe feel like you can play, and both of them are looking questionable.
Right, and the tough part is we haven't seen like any like outside of Inferno and Big, we haven't seen any other map out of them at this. Like they haven't really even experimented with their own map pool, have they? They've just kind of gone. Obviously, Inferno they gave it 2 shots. Cobble now this is the 2nd shot that'll looks like it's about to get them eliminated, which is unfortunate, but. You just have to be impressed with Space Soldiers. I think I'd rather focus on the fact that Space Soldiers have been playing so well. And look how aggressive. They don't want to slow this down. They just want to end the game, and Paz is doing work. He's closed out plenty of rounds, and this time he starts it out with 2 kills. And there's not even a chance for Big to fight back into it.
I mean, especially in a round like this where, yes, they could buy it, but you don't have all the Molotovs and HE grenades to stop that kind of a rush in. So he just comes through the smoke. You're just finished boosting that guy onto the box, and everybody's blind, and then they're dead.
I think the tough part for it as well is, as a player, sometimes when you're getting beat down this bad, right? Like you have a conversation with whoever you're playing a bomb site with, and you're like, all right, this is what we're going to do this round. This is what they're doing. This is exactly how we're going to counter it. You go here, I'll go here. If this happens, I'll throw this flash or this nade or whatever it might be. And you're focused so much on what that adjustment is that you like almost forget to like look away from those flashbangs for the rush, right? Because both those big players are blind. That can't happen. That's something that generally is worked out, that somewhat avoids those initial flashbangs. And this time they didn't do it. Paz is able to just crush them.
Brutal beginning here to the first map of day number 4, 12-1 in favor of Space Soldiers with, I mean, we have to keep an eye on this.
That's so sick. They even throw like a follow-up flashbang as well. Once he's out and fighting, you saw Tapson up top just get like secondary blinded as soon as his teammate goes down.
Yeah, what do you do? I mean, you have to stop them before they get out from that plateau.
You type quit in console and just uninstall the game and just have done.
Yes. 21-5 on Paz. Again, out of control in this game completely.
4 UMPs in that AK that Tapson was able to save. This is going to be a little bit different. 3 players towards long A. And actually, I think Big has the read because they're not feeling any pressure towards the B bomb site that they've had coming from that in pretty much every other round. So they're going to go over towards A. There's some great proactive play across the map. Still doesn't work out, of course. That's unfortunate. Calic's going to follow up on Engine. A 3rd player is here. Paz gets 1 more kill and running into the fire. Oh no, Big. You had the stack, you had the pop flash peek, you had the flames on the ground, you had the nade into the choke point, and still Space Soldiers wins everything.
Yeah, they lined it up so perfectly. The reaction from Santaros is so quick as well. He gets flashed, he just jumps to the side, and then his teammate just takes over and says, I've got this. Very, I mean, this is, when you're at this point for Big, I feel like, and maybe this has been their feeling throughout the tournament, just that nothing's working. Like, whatever it is we're doing, just everything is failing at this point.
Yeah. There's no real good answer, it seems, at the moment. Double op setup for the T side, so another new look on the offense. Space Soldiers just running up the score. Hoping that at this point someone from Big is so frustrated that they just want to go take a peek and take a fight and walk right into an AWP.
Grenades being used early on here. Tabson inside of the B bomb site. The rest spread out across the map. Very similar setup. But again, what else can you do at this point? Space Soldiers, they've gone fast and they've gone slow, and it's all been working. A bit of a fight there as Gob goes down. A little bit of team damage in between, I believe, but nothing that really matters. It's one round where they had a double AWP setup, and even that, they couldn't really sort of power through with.
They go back to T-spawn and trade out for the AWPs. They're not either of the ops anymore.
Oh.
So Xantares now working his way through drop. There's Paz. He's going to swing around the corner. Actually, this is one of the rare times that actually won that initial fight, but it doesn't matter. Pressure comes from the other angle. And that one has success. And Key, I feel like he's just felt so lonely this whole game.
Yeah, he's been just on the other side of the map, and all the action has been here. 14-1, ladies and gentlemen. Space Soldiers just a couple of steps now from continuing. They're obviously not going to go all the way through to Boston just yet, but at least they're going to avoid elimination, which cannot be said for Big if they don't make essentially a 15-round comeback here.
It's got to be 15 in a row to win, or, you know, play for overtime.
Yeah, 14 can work too.
Listen, this is where you get into all the platitudes. One round at a time,
Give me some more platitudes, Moses.
That's the only one I had actually for this big of a disparity.
On any given Monday.
Sunday.
Yeah, but it's Monday, so.
That's a good point. I'll take it all back. Yeah, any given Monday, game of two halves. That's Yanko's favorite, as he would say.
Right? Yeah.
Game of two halves.
Tweet us your favorite platitudes, and we'll try and put some of them on the broadcast. Need just a lot of encouragement, and from the looks of just the camera shots here, that's not really happening, is it?
No, it's not. There's not a whole lot. Like honestly, God, like it is one of those things where, as an in-game leader, like, you gotta feel for God B, because it is like, what do you say in this kind of a situation? There's no real speech you can give. There's no kind of motivation you can provide to lean on. So
I think drinks are on me is maybe one.
Your favorite platitude.
Paz and Calyx now holding the drop, and sorry if we're making light of the situation, but right now Big is just in a terrible hole. Legia though will open up, winning the pistol. The first step, and he gets a second kill on Paz. Tabson chiming in to take down Engine. That's the start. Major and Xantares now 2 versus 3 as they take down Legia, but the bomb is down. They should not be able to retake this. Big can play for time here. Just wait them out. Shoot them in the faces works.
Yeah, shooting in the face always works. Xantares now, he did pick up a kit. He's got armor. He's got 1 flashbang as well. He's got to find this first kill, and he gets completely blinded. There's some of that utility usage from Big. Now, we haven't been able to see yet, but a great opening from Legia. I don't know what Calyx is doing. I guess that's an interesting way to fall back into drop zone.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm fine with you holding plateau, but not on that side of the wall.
That can't be the plan.
No, definitely not a good idea. So yeah, he misstepped a tiny bit. Definitely got punished for it. Great opening for Big. 12 and 14. So we're just gonna... The trouble now is... all you can do really watching the game is just hold your breath and wait, you know? Like even if they get up to like 14-8, you still can't really be like, oh yeah, it's really how you know that one misstep is probably gonna be the end of it. So yeah, let's see what they can do. Let's make them prove it to us.
Well, on behalf of Henry G, I have to talk about why Space Soldiers has decided to invest into this round as Major gets burned alive. You're up 14-1, you lose the pistol, no reason. Just make sure your first gun round, you have everything you could want.
Yeah, that's true. Henry was not loving that yesterday. I
mean, don't love it at any point. I think economy is one of those weird parts of the game that is very convoluted these days with some of the bonus money and everything, but there is just no sense to it when you have that big of a lead. Like, you don't need to get this second round, you don't need to turn it around. And now this likely will have no impact on the game because of how widespread the score is, but
a simple way to put it is you need 2 more rounds and you have, 14 with which to get the 2. And now, are you more likely to get those 2 using, C sets or M4s? Right. So why not have more M4 rounds, basically?
Yeah. And it just puts you in that scary spot where they could make a comeback if you... The one way they can make a comeback into this game is if Space Soldiers just completely destroy their own economy. So we'll see, but a good second round in this second half for Big. They're going to get a third. Interesting enough, it is Legia leading the way. 14 kills for him. He's the only one who's not negative. He's 14 and 14.
Yeah, right. Not always the player that we look for, but I mean, at this point, anybody who wants to take up the mantle and try and push the team forward should probably be welcome to do so. 14-3, and the 18th round now commencing. Good news is we're going to get a couple more rounds to get the cobblestone or the Dragon Lord drop, Moses. You thought about that?
Maybe that's the plan all along.
Maximize
doing it for the people.
Do remember, guys, the more people that watch, the higher the rate is of the drops. So if you invite your friends, increase drop rate for everybody. So it's, you have an incentive to get people to watch. Think about it, especially on this map.
That'd be quite nice. Well. There's Gabi, again leading the way. Another stack towards the A-bomb site for Space Soldiers. Molotov, they can hear the calls coming out. Flashbangs, utility being spent now. Nades doing great damage, so are the flames. So many players from Space Soldiers brought down low, and it's a pinch onto the bomb site. This is feeling uncomfortable. Great win from Paz. Unfortunately, the rest of the team can't do a whole lot. Paz is just gonna bail out with his armor and CZ. Run to the other side of the map. live with that armor. It's $1,000 he wouldn't have to spend. 23-6 for him. It's a pretty good game.
Yeah, imagine having died only 6 times in 18 rounds. That's, well, round isn't quite done, but still, that's not bad at all.
No.
So, I mean, good. This is a good round for Big in the sense that even though there was a big stack on that B bomb site, they didn't sort of overcommit to the fight, right? They let Space Soldiers wait it out and peek themselves into death, and then that was it. So you want to see that. You want to see them really keep the cool here.
I mean, even down this big of a disparity, you gotta imagine that Gabi's gonna have a well-drilled team, especially on the T side. And you don't just lose that discipline, regardless of the score, regardless of how, you know, excited and hopeless you're feeling. You're still gonna be able to, you know, throw the nades and use the advantage of your rifle. So here we go, into the first gun round. This is where, just quickly to refer back to that second round about their buy, if you look at guys like Major, Xantares, and Calyx, yes, they have the M4s. But, you know, some are missing head armor, and then you look at the nades, they don't have smokes, they don't have kits. There's only one kit that's on engine, and that's because he went down to the UMP. So this is where not investing into that second round could have really helped Space Soldiers.
We'll see if it's going to come back to haunt them. I feel like, especially in retake situations, lacking those grenades can be so rough. Has the timing. Gobi makes himself known, and he's going to be forcing them back. Engine as well on the ramp. Just slightly drawing back from that position. Major, though, is quite far forward on that plateau. You love to see that.
Engine has taken a lot of damage from spam, down to 17 HP. So he's going to have a really tough time if the hit were to come in, and it's looking likely at the moment. 4 players here already. Tapson as the 5th is rotating over. Major should be able to have the information if, I think they just got pop flashed and peeked into a new position. They should be finding this out between him and Xantares. I imagine we'll see some kind of a rotate coming right now, and yeah, Xantares is kind of cheated, but hasn't committed to it. So a lot of pressure on Paz. If he goes down, Engine cannot even get in a fight.
Well, leg gear is gone already. Bring the bomb back towards the B bomb sites, and Xantares is starting to rotate out. This fake is actually working out big, and this is what they've been doing so much in the tournament so far. They've been very good at drawing out their opponents once they're on the T side, but now they've lost got B, so now the rotation is going to start to come back. Xantares looking into the site that he wins the fight against Tapson. That was the one thing that could not happen. They needed everybody here on Big to stay alive, and goes for a bit more. The bomb gets dropped with 10 seconds left. It's key to 1 versus 5, and Xantares will take every single one of them down at the end. 15-4. I mean, they had the whole team drawn out of the B bomb site. Yeah. And it wasn't enough.
No, it really wasn't whatsoever. And I mean, Xantares essentially winning a 1v3 over on that side of the map. Great job from Paz. That first kill. These are critical. I mean, this kill comes in when all of his teammates are there, but like we said, Engine was so low. If he had lost that initial battle, and Xantares gets back in a position, he kind of senses what's coming eventually, and as the clock is running out, Big not even in the bomb site planting, he's able to get those 3 kills. Was just trying to hold his ground for the retake. As again flashed back as he was last round, a double op setup. Desperation for Big.
More exchanges coming through the door. Very scary for Legia, almost walked right into it. Worked out as well. Pretty aggressive with the AWP, not scared to take the fight at close range. And at this stage, they really sort of do have to roll the dice to try and find a way back into the game. Need to win 11 straight rounds to get into even just overtime. Now there's going to be the boost in the middle, very popular. Could have definitely been a kill, but missed the opportunity. The tree caught the bullet instead, and Keeb will take down Paz, so now something's happening.
As Xantares has rotated, Engine still taking that fight, ill-advised. Xantares again is all alone. He's going to try and make his way into the side. I think they spotted him with that jump, and the op is swift from Keeb. Calyx and Major just backing away from this fight. Want to keep the rifles. They're going to be a broken economy again. If they do want to buy into this, they'd have to have these 2 M4s survive, and even then it would struggle to get some good weaponry on the other 3 players, so whatever they can do here at the end.
That's not bad at all, but the game really does change quite a bit when you've got your back to the wall like this, when you can't lose any rounds, no mistakes. It's great if you can continue to have openings like this. You can obviously pull all the way through. I think the trouble hits if you have a start where nobody even has to die, but just 2 people get sort of wounded, get to you know, below 40 health, then you know, oh man, this is the round. You know, now it's gonna, like, it can definitely change the mentality on the team.
The nice thing, I mean, if there is a silver lining, which I guess technically there's not, but when you're down this much, I don't think you really feel that pressure of elimination of the last round ending things until you get close to being able to actually make a comeback. Like, until you get to like 10, 11 rounds, like, you'll still see like crazy aggressive plays because Big knows they have nothing to lose at this point, essentially. They've already kind of lost the game. If they get back up towards 10 or 11, that's when you'll start to see maybe a bit more reserved play, a little bit more like you actually are scared of taking a fight that you'll lose.
Managed to put Space Soldier's economy back in the hole. At least that is working out, so not bad at all here. Kiev quite quick with the AWP. As we said in the first half, he was isolated for so much of the time on the other side of the map. Couldn't really do anything.
Well, just pistols. Fast pace towards the B site. Kiev, this is what I'm talking about. Kiev is going to be making aggressive plays. Gets dropped there. Tapson has found his way out the drop. No one has eyed on it. Missed some shots, though. That was a bit sketchy, but now Lagia has chimed in, so Space Soldiers slowed it down, but they can't stop it, and now they've got Calyx out in the open. Xantares is next up for Tapson. This is what we saw against North, was Tapson just being a beast coming down drop. And at least doing it in that round against pistols. It would be, I mean, if they want to make this comeback, he's got to wake up.
And he slowly is. I mean, you saw him have 0 kills for a very long time in that first half, and now he's up to 11. So 3rd on the scoreboard on his own team, which is, I mean, pretty impressive actually. So done a good job. You could argue that it's a bit late, maybe, in the day to sort of wake up, but he just seems to not have a good time at all playing the CT side.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, his you have to remember as well, they attacked his position quite frequently, and they usually did it, I mean, without gaining any kind of momentum or stringing rounds together. They could never really get a solid economy going, so the poor guy didn't have sometimes the tools needed to slow down some of those aggressive plays from Space Soldiers.
Managed to get the first kill this time on Engine, and they burned out Major a bit. There's the counter boost that we've been talking about that's been lacking. They don't really go all the way up, and you can tell Legia is on the other side. Slightly paranoid that something's going to be coming. Even if they get the kill on Legia here, they should be able to just rush the A-bomb site, no problem. But they started to rotate over. Because Major's boosted up, they're going to put Calyx over there as well. It's interesting.
Ooh, almost the timing. Legia, though, responds quite nice. That should set off the bells. Not necessarily that they have to go back, but they should realize they're going to encounter some form of resistance. Doesn't really matter, does it? 3 headshots come out from the AKs, Tapson, Nex, and Gob. So they've got 7 now, Anders.
It's definitely trending in the right direction.
What number do they need to get to before you say, all right?
15. I mean, I know it's depressing, Moses, but
that was a fun game that we played right now.
Yeah,
just there.
Just shutting it down. I mean, I think the problem is actually, I would say these are the easier rounds to win, because right now I think there is obviously pressure on Big, but I think you also have that like almost delirious feeling of like, I mean, what can we do? Let's just pray and do our best, you know. Let's show them what we got while we're going out. But once you get to 14, 15, like 13, 15, 14, 15, then it becomes serious again.
Here's the thing, it was, I mean, Space Soldiers just yesterday came back from 13 to 2, or 2 to 13 down against Gambit on Train to make a very close game of it.
Yeah.
So they better realize that, you know, they should close this out as soon as possible. And surely there's 2 opening picks. Gob gets 1, Nex and Legia combined to burn Major. I think that's the 2nd or 3rd time he's died from a molly in this half. And all of a sudden a 5-on-3. And yeah, the one, I mean, just to go back to that, the one thing that Adren said after they'd won the game, I mean, they eventually did win it out Gambit. He said in the postgame, when you get up 13 to 2, you do not necessarily like fall asleep, but you feel so confident that you don't feel worried until the comeback has already essentially happened. You know, you look at the score and you're like, 15-7, that's fine. 15-8, that's fine. 15-9, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, they have 13 rounds. If we lose this, we're broke, and they can get to overtime. So, I mean, as much as this was an incredible start for Space Soldiers, they need to make sure they close this out quick.
Yeah, there's no reason. I mean, especially because you have to remember, even if Space Soldiers win this game, they're going to be playing more games today. So you want to make sure that you have the strength for it, that you're not doubting yourself too much. Like, why not close this game out as soon as you can, and then You can watch the other teams play. You can sort of prepare yourself mentally. If you have to sort of spend too much energy and you barely win this game or win it in overtime or something like that, sure, it'll deplete a little bit of your confidence. It has to. 3-5 here, and obviously for a long time this round has already been lost from Space Soldiers. They already decided to save, and they're going to be in the B-bomb side, while Big are out hunting for them. And why should they not? They have so much money, and they obviously can't save the guns anyway, so...
And this is just more of a, the more they take these rifles away, the easier the following rounds are going to go. And, you know, I mentioned it at the start, the one way that they can come back into this is if they make sure that they keep the economy of Space Soldiers just as ruined as possible throughout it. And getting these guns would be a nice step. Kalix survives. And he does even longer, but not at the end. Lakia finds it with the pistol.
It's like we always say, those last seconds, they just last so long.
They just hang, don't they?
Oh, Major. Would he feel... No, it's going to spread into the corner, isn't it? He had 1 HP in that corner, so when that Molotov came in, he was like, oh, shit. Not good, is it?
He's just like, oh, guys, I'm dead. I'm dead. Doing his best for impression.
I need a fire extinguisher. Help.
What comes next in this game, Anders? You think they make like a water grenade that your teammate can throw? Actually, I guess smoke does the same thing. That'd be kind of pointless, yeah.
Smoke water balloons, though. That is a friendly thought, isn't it? Just to soften up Counter-Strike a bit for the sensitive audience. I hope not.
Well, Xanter's burning alive to Nex and picked off by Lagia. Starting to look good on this T side. There's some of that tactical brilliance that we saw to them that so many people respect out of GOT-B-led teams over the years. Doing a very good job, and it's, I mean, yeah, it's against pistols, but these rounds have been clean. Like, they haven't even been a danger in some of these force buys that Space Soldiers have had, and you have to admire that at the very least. Molotov out, they know exactly where he is. You can hear the shouts across the studio, and actually, he does burn Nex. He's got himself in a 1-2, all of a sudden a 1-on-1.
Oh no, how has this happened? The Molotov actually burns him alive, and now triple kill for Kalix, waiting on the other side there. Key with the timing, but it's not good enough. Quad kill, and just like that, with pistols and nothing else, Kalix saving Space Soldiers here so that they didn't have to continue fighting this battle. 16-8, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be big out of the tournament.
Oh no, that came out of nowhere.
That was so quick.
Came so fast that he just wins that and turns that around, and you can see crushing defeat and a crushing way to lose just when they're starting to build momentum in that second half to make some kind of a heroic comeback. That one even hurts me. I've got a bit of that stomachache feeling, you know, you get when it happens.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Sympathy, Moses. It's not something I'm familiar with, but I've heard about it before. What a rough turn of events. I look forward to the desk breaking all of it down. That's going to be coming up right after this, so stay with us.
So I just want to.
Nex goes, doesn't check the corner, and Major's waiting. The double spray down is in. Nex and taps and absolutely gone.
Nice, Amit. Nice. Let's go.
Paz just looking for more. He is an absolute monster in this game right now. Looking for the spray. He's gonna get the headshot. Triple for him.
Nice. Oh, nice.
This is disheartening to say the least for Big. It's going to be 11-1.
Oi! Waiting on the other side there. Key with the timing, but it's not good enough. Quad kill, and just like that, with pistols and nothing else, Calix.
In our first match of the day, it's the Space Soldiers taking out Big to stay alive in this tournament and fight to go to Boston. So first of all, congratulations, Major. You have one more win and you will be going to the playoffs in Boston. After so many close games this week with 13-16, 16-13, how does it feel to finally win a game more dominantly?
To be honest, I think it's a fake score because it's maybe the score is dominating, like 14-1, but we win a lot of clutch, also a lot of not lucky situation, but we managed to win every clutch, and the score was 41. But for me, it's a fake score. It's not like dominant. They played well, but I'm glad that we finished that game because if we draw, we shock that game, it will be very bad.
Definitely. And after you guys made it to 14-1, we saw that Big was actually starting to gain some momentum back. So were you worried at all that potentially they could come all the way back?
I think we lost a little focus, but they played well also on T side. They did well. But I'm glad that we end that match. Yeah.
I'm sure the Turkish fans are happy for you guys as well. Traditionally, when it comes to the Space Soldiers, it's Xantares that's talked about a lot. But today we saw Paz just go off. So what do you think it is that's making him shine?
I think he's an incredible player. He's not on the light of the people. He prefers to stay on the shadow, but he's incredible. For me, I don't have words for him. I love him. And today, people don't know, but he's really sick. He's playing sick, and he's doing that performance. Is like, I'm shocked. Like, when I see incredible player, I have no word for him.
There's no doubt that he had an incredible performance today. Congratulations again. We'll see how your next match goes. Back to you, Richard.
All right, what a gracious in-game leader cheering on the troops. Big are out, but we're going to be talking about Space Soldiers, I think, to begin with. They keep on doing it. It did get a little bit hairy at some points.